Okay, we're gonna be doing a little bit of a different video today. YouTube has taken down my last BTS video. It was my Let's BTS reaction. So I thought a good way to keep this video alive would be to look through the comments of this video before I delete it permanently from YouTube. So I have included the free version of the YouTube video on my Patreon that I had on YouTube that's now taken down. And if you want to watch the extended 2.5 hour version, that's on my Patreon as well. But yeah, today I thought, you know what? We're hanging out, we're chilling, we'll relax, look at some comments together. Let's get straight into this. Let's BTS. I'll go down in the comment section here. Okay, you've got my top comment. And then, yeah, I saw a lot of these comments. Okay, first comment here. 4C_and_sky. At 8 minutes and 30 seconds into the video, you're saying the boys did an MBTI test. Yes, I've heard about the MBTI test recently. And J-Hope's results actually showed him being an introvert this time. Look at that. The previous time they took one, he got extrovert, so it seems like he's somewhere between the two. And I know I said in there he seemed like more of an ambivert, kind of on the introverted side. I mentioned it seems like he likes to be more in listening mode. Arpita VK is saying every member has different relationships with affection, verbal or nonverbal. Namjoon and Yoongi can barely handle it when affection is directed toward them. Yeah, I can totally see that. Jin makes a funny joke and try to diffuse the seriousness. Hobie is great with physical affection. You guys know BTS so well. Sometimes I'm like, when I'm saying things, I'm like, man, I'm gonna get corrected big time in the comment section, or I'm just going to get more context into what I'm saying. So it's always fun doing BTS videos because you guys know what's going on and can really give me that extra context there. So that's cool. And the last line that Arpita said here is Jimin getting everyone to say I love you Yoongi on national television is a pretty out there move. For sure. Shrim, what up Shrim? Shrim says that's well said. Sukjin always exposes himself to be made fun of, lovingly, or joked with to make others feel comfortable. So that's very selfless of him. Yes, I agree with that. I love that about Jin. I love the fact that Jin can, just like Shrim said, put himself out there in a way that allows us to make fun of him. It just adds to the dynamic in a really fun way, and I think that's actually a sign of his confidence and his vulnerability. Like, vulnerability to me is confidence, and although Jin doesn't always express how he feels as easily as some of the other guys, he does it in different ways. He shows his vulnerability in different ways, and I think that's one of the ways. Okay, I'll just call you mine comments and says, in regards to Jimin, I think you were spot on with him being a perfectionist, but I also think that another important aspect is Jimin's love for privacy. Okay. On one hand, he's very emotionally intelligent and open to showing vulnerability. Yep. So you'll see him talk about his feelings and experiences very honestly and openly in many interviews. Yeah, and I have seen that. He's the member known for expressing his appreciation for the other members in various ways the most, and I have seen that as well. On the other hand, he has stressed in the past how much he treasures privacy and keeping things / people to himself. And I can totally understand that, especially how public BTS is. Think about how many videos they have, how much they are in the public eye. I'd imagine it's important to them to keep certain things private. So that's not a surprise to hear that, but that's cool to hear that about Jimin. And I did say in the video that I was curious to know what you thought about his perfectionism, because it does seem like, you know, I said he has a mystery to him because it does feel like at times he's holding things back. So that makes sense, right? He's more of a private person in that way. And I know I'm the same way. Sometimes I have a much easier time talking about other people and talking about my love for other people than I do myself personally. So I can actually really relate to Jimin in that way. Okay, Emily Kaplan says, I love your love for Namjoon. You know I love my boy RM. And you were spot on about Jimin being a perfectionist. it's something that's caused him a lot of stress in the past. Yeah, I'm sure it has. I'm sure it has. And it's amazing how well these guys can all keep it together and perform on the big stage. I just watched a K-pop documentary, not on BTS, and what stood out to me the most was how much pressure they have to endure on a day-to-day basis. I mean, I don't know if I have the character or the resilience or the stamina to deal with the stuff that they deal with. It's unbelievable. Marissa says, yeah, Jimin has that perfectionist in him. So a lot of people are commenting here on Jimin and the perfectionism. And he shows, and in this show, he was with many people older than him. I understand what you see. You can see more of his holding in their earlier years, right? And he likes making others laugh too. Yeah, I have seen glimpses of that. Jimin liking making other people laugh, which is cool. He can be really funny. I have seen that side of Jimin, that sense of humor side. Yeah. Okay, Laura B says, to me, Jimin is the most opposite on and off stage. He is more reserved in some interviews with news or primetime shows, but put him on stage and he shines like crazy. Yeah, and I have seen on my Patreon, I have seen quite a few Jimin performances, and the guy is an absolute beast on stage. One of the best dancers I've probably ever seen on stage. The guy's at the highest of levels when it comes to dance, there's no question, and performing. Yeah, so that makes sense to me. That's what Laura B's saying. Thanks, Laura, for the comment. Me Mac agrees 100%. Tanvi Sood says RM had often said that, especially in English interviews, he likes having Jin next to him. Interesting, because he feels stable and grounded and is always there to support RM during awkward moments. And I really, in this Let's BTS episode, I actually really saw Jin's leadership skills come to life a little bit more, because he can really handle himself in these communication type settings. He's a really good communicator, very smart, very, very articulate, and definitely brings, at times, it feels like a very needed comedic energy to the group, a lightheartedness. But he can turn on that serious side and talk about the group, talk about their struggles, talk about what's going on in the lives of BTS, just as well as any of them. So, yeah, I can see that Jin would be a good sort of sidekick to RM in these types of interviews. So that's cool to hear. And then I saw this comment, Io Adek says, Max calling RM Namjoon really made my day. They usually say in our fandom that when you start calling the members by their real names, you become an army. So I appreciate that. Thank you for saying that. I don't know if some people say I'm army. You know, I know some people are stricter with the army rules than others, but listen, I love BTS. Sure, put me in the army. I'm ready to fight. Is that what they say? That doesn't make sense. But yeah, no, let's go. Let's go. Okay, so Lil Mermaid said, I call J-Hope an extroverted introvert. I saw this comment as well. I love this comment. Thank you, Lil Mermaid. And thank you, Io, for that last comment as well. In front of people, he can be the center of attention, but really is laid back and chill, for sure. Because he can turn it on. Like, he's like such an energizer bunny. I commented on the beginning of this video that he can be the most charming and charismatic guy in the room, and he doesn't have to say anything, right? You just see him get up. He's got like the brightest smile in the world. He stands up. He's just got this real contagious energy about him. But oftentimes when I feel that energy from J-Hope, he's not saying anything, right? So he can be this like really charismatic figure without actually saying a word. So it's interesting how it's like his nonverbal communication that's very charismatic. So perhaps there's something to that when he does get vocal. Maybe that does take some more energy out of him. I'm going to have to think about that one a little bit more. So Little Mermaid saying that they're the same way. Yeah, and that's the cool thing about the biases in BTS as well. It's like it seems very spread out amongst the fandom. I don't know if there's like a majority who's like this bias or this bias. Very spread out. And another thing I was thinking about the other day, I was talking about with my Patreon community, was like, it would be cool to see like a demographic chart in correlation to everyone's bias. Like if it changes per personality type, if it changes per age. Someone actually said that your bias is someone who's your favorite, and your bias wrecker is someone who you are inspired by or you aspire to be more like. No, they said your favorite is who's most similar to you. I think that's what it was. And your bias wrecker, or your second favorite, is someone who you aspire to be like, or someone that you're inspired by. Sorry for butchering that. Okay, Amanda Flowers says, I think a lot of Jimin's star qualities come out specifically when he's on stage performing. All of them shine, of course, but Jimin turns into a beast, for sure. Hey.
It's a long bit.
My girlfriend's in the back here. Hey, Alex, you want to come say hi?
Hi. This video is going to be an hour long?
That's fine.
All right.
We'll go through the comments here.
Are you having fun?
Yeah, this is great.
Doesn't sound.
Sky says, you should definitely watch their Love Yourself, Speak Yourself final concert ending in Seoul. Okay, maybe I'll get around to that. That was an end of an era. So apparently I saw this because I responded to it. What did I say? Thanks for the reco. Okay, there you go. Thanks for the reco, Sky. That was an end of era, and RM cried while giving a speech. Okay. You know that's going to be cool for me to see, an emotional RM. Okay. With Jimin, this is Marissa. Hey, Marissa, thanks for the comment. With Jimin, he gives a lot to people, but he keeps much to himself as well. So someone mentioned his privacy earlier. Yeah. There are things that still surprise the guys about him. He's a total perfectionist. Cool. Thank you for letting me know that. I appreciate that comment. See, it's fun reading these things. I get to learn a lot about the guys reading these things. Earth Star Moon says Yoongi loves compliments, but he also gets shy and embarrassed when he receives them. Loves compliments, but he also gets shy. Okay. Yeah, I can see that too. Okay. Eileen says, I think I watch these videos not only to understand them, and I hearted this comment, so thanks, Eileen, but to allow myself to love them the way I do. As a very rational person who grew up not allowing myself to be a fan of any artist because I learned that it was foolish, it is hard sometimes to understand why I smile every single time I see them. I think a lot of people can relate to that. You know, it's like, why do we get so happy when we see certain artists, especially BTS? You know, just turning them on makes us so happy. And like, why is that? And that's part of what I like to try to put into words. And I think Jimin hides some aspects of his personality to protect himself. He naturally draws attention, and it makes him a target not only for people's love, but also prejudice and hate. Yeah, and I can see that being the case for all the guys too. But that would make sense for Jimin perhaps more, because from what I heard, I believe he was like the kind of, you know, was it the bad boy or the pretty boy near their debut or like earlier on in their careers, and maybe there was a lot of like unwanted attention on him in that way. I'm not completely sure, but that's interesting to know, and I appreciate the comment. Aileen, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. And then Jam says, Jimin is he's so special. He likes paying attention to small details. So a lot of Jimin lovers in the comments, a lot of Jimin lovers. And then Chelsea Frazier says at 10:49 in my video, he was definitely emotional, not cringing. I think you're referring to RM, because I was like, is he cringing? Is he emotional? And Chelsea saying the sound he made is a common sound that Koreans make when they're touched by something. Ah, okay. Especially by someone's words. And I've noticed that he especially does it a lot when members get deep about him. Okay, cool. Yeah, I was wondering that. I was like, what's going on with that? Is he? I thought he was getting emotional. I really did think he was getting emotional. But I have seen him cringe in the past when he gets complimented. But I relate to RM in a lot of ways. Like, I really do relate to RM. Maybe most out of all the guys, I would say RM. I'm probably inspired most by Yoongi, but I think I relate most to RM. And I'm the type of guy, too, who kind of gets emotional when receiving compliments or positive feedback. So it hits me deep. Okay. Her says, for getting to know the real Jimin, you should watch some of their lives when there is not pre-recording or cuts. The recent live, Pyong, is a good choice to start. Appreciate the recommendation. Thanks, Her. Appreciate that. I should watch some of their lives. I also want to watch some of their V lives as well. Martina says, the way you express your thoughts and each one of them made me emotional. All the reasons why we love them so much. Things you said are mostly spot on, and yes, Jimin is the most mysterious. He's very awkward in interviews and such a captivating person. Yes, Martina, I agree, and thank you for saying that. Thank you so much for saying that. I love seeing these comments, and if, you know, just the fact that I can help articulate some of the thoughts that you might have, or just sort of validate some of the thoughts that you have. I know that that's always a good feeling. Like, I personally like reaction videos too, or analysis videos. I watch like a ton of different reactors, and I love when they say cool or good things about the people that I like, or help me understand the people that I like. So yeah, shout out to you, Martina. Thanks for letting me know that. And then Chamel says, with Jimin, I think it depends on the situation, if he has his guard up or not. That completely makes sense. That completely makes sense. Very situational. Lynette says, 100%, I have felt this for so long and can sometimes actively see when Jimin is in his head and analyzing, holding back. This is why I treasure the moments when Jimin gets super vulnerable. No doubt, Lynette. Thank you for the comment. I got to check out some more Jimin videos too. R. Vermilion says, when RM talks, you have to listen to him. Ain't that the damn truth? Ain't that the damn truth? He's so captivating, isn't he? He's so damn captivating. You know, when he speaks, it feels like there's something important that he has to say. And when you get the sense that someone has something important to say, it's like, okay, I'm listening. I'm listening to you. Okay, you have something important to tell me? Okay, I'm here. I'm listening. That's the sense I get from RM. It's like, whoa, okay, RM speaking. Something's important is going to be said. Something wise is going to be said. Very captivating. And he's a great storyteller. He uses examples and analogies really well. He's able to help you visualize his story really well. Just the way he pauses and emphasizes certain words. He does a lot of really good things as a communicator, as a speaker. And I have a ton of love for our boy Namjoon. I'm so impressed with him. But yeah, you're right, our Vermilion. Maybe it's his mannerisms, maybe it's his charisma, it's his low voice too. Good point. People tend to listen to people who could speak with a low baritone voice. I've seen some studies on that as well. Yeah, there's something about a low baritone voice that commands a certain amount of tension. Yes. Let's scroll down a little. Mai says, love the description of, Mai spelled M-Y-I-E, says, love the description of Jungkook. He really doesn't feel the need to win or be right all the time. I totally feel that. Yeah, I totally feel like that. Thank you for the comment, Mai. C. Anna says, I don't know if you're already aware of this, but RM got cited saying that a good leader isn't standing in front of the group but is pushing from behind. Yeah, I have heard that quote, and I agree with that, and I feel like he does that for sure. He knows when to be the center of attention, but he also knows when to take a step back and let the other guys shine and take the lead. And take the lead. this is cool. I really enjoyed reading through these, and it makes it way more enjoyable knowing that I'm reading through them with other people, or knowing that other people are going to be watching this at least. And I love this description here. It said, Blue Navy says J-Hope is a social introvert. I like that. I like that description a lot, a social introvert. I think that might be the first time I've heard that. And yeah, because of the members, he is the one that we know really little about when it comes to his personality and his struggles. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. That's interesting. I guess I haven't really heard J-Hope open up about his struggles. So that would be a cool video if there's one out there to check out. All right. Let's see what else is out there. To be honest, I feel like Jimin's a bit more introverted in interviews. Okay. That's LW. Thanks for the comment, LW. And then Babana Maharjan. Again, I'm apologize if I'm mispronouncing your name, but Babana is saying, I also think that Taehyung is always confident with everything, his personality, his choices, his looks, and everything in general. Certainly seems that way at times. It certainly seems that he just oozes with confidence at times. He doesn't question anything. Although, he's a human being, and none of us are 120% confident all the time, but it certainly does seem that way in terms of how he honestly expresses himself. It's like he's so pure and raw, and that can come off as extremely confident because it doesn't feel like he's second-guessing himself. Jessica Pierce, I can't help but get emotional whenever I see the seven of them interacting with each other. I'm sure a lot of people can agree with that. Maybe because it does feel so honest. They have this aura of love surrounding them. No doubt they do. There's no doubt that they do. And that's one of the reasons we love BTS. It's like they have this aura of honesty, of love, that just kind of lets us in. It feels very real. It doesn't feel like it's guarded. And because it doesn't feel like it's guarded, it kind of just gives us a chance to kind of get in there and enjoy the experience with them. So I can totally see why it kind of hits on people's heartstrings and why people get so emotional. Totally. Lovely says, RM is very cute. On a day-to-day life, he's very cheerful, still has deep thoughts, but it's like the members said once that he actually takes care of RM behind the scenes. Okay, so the members take care of RMs behind the scenes? It's like the members said once that they actually take care of RM behind the scenes. Gotcha. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they all take care of each other in a way, but I'm sure they do, considering how much of a responsibility RM has. Okay, let's scroll down. We'll check out a couple more here. Okay, Emma McIntyre. I feel that Jin and Tae are able to bring out that little bit extra in Jimin that you might be looking to see. Okay, Jin and Tae, huh? Maybe react to Jimin Cook or Jimin V compilation videos. Okay, I appreciate that recommendation. I generally like staying away from compilation videos. I'll do a couple. I'm not like totally against them, but I like seeing them in as real of a situation as possible. And I feel like sometimes the fan-made compilations can feel like they're trying to direct you in a certain way. And I know that's fun a lot of the time. And so if there is a good one, I'm totally open to it. There's no doubt. So I appreciate that suggestion. Thank you, Emma. Jody Cummings. Hey, Jody. I'm just going to read some of your names here. Jody Cummings. We've got Nayla. We've got Tiara, Jillian. Let's read Jody's comment. This group has benefited so much by being together all these years, from having the best leader in the industry. No doubt. RM is golden. No doubt. And I believe you've read Jimin correctly. He's brutally perfectionistic to the point where it's threatened his life and well-being in the past. That's serious stuff. Thank you for reading the boys so well. My pleasure, and appreciating them as human beings, of course. Hard not to appreciate them as human beings. They're amazing guys. I love them. And it's funny because even sometimes when I don't feel like working or doing filming or videotaping, I know that if I'm doing a BTS reaction, it's going to break me out of whatever shitty mood I'm in. because there's just something about that, right? And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. If you're in a bad mood, click on some BTS, and they really do help you feel good. Not only from just like a pure distraction standpoint, but they've just got really good hearts. I can go on. I can go on and on. They're amazing people, but there is something about their energy that's just completely contagious that brings a smile to our face every time. And that's such a cool thing too. It's like they bring it every time. That's impressive. It seems that way, at least. They bring it every time on camera. It's like they're always there. It's like it always seems like they show up. Maybe Yoongi takes a break once in a while. Love the validation, says BSA. Bizza says, every single thing you said was extremely spot on, especially that part about Hobie and Jungkook. Thank you. Thank you. Tiara saying, I actually want to know your thoughts about their MBTI. And I probably will get to those videos. I think I will. I think I have to. There's been so many requests. I think I have to. Although, to be honest, I'm not like a personality expert. I know a little bit about introversion and extroversion, but I don't know a lot about the 16 different personalities. I know a little bit about it. But still, I think it would be a cool video for me to see. I think there's a lot of overlap from what I do and that video, so I should check it out. Jillian, thank you for the positive comment. I really appreciate it. Jillian Foster says, thanks for the great interview and analysis. Thank you. Yeah, and Octavia says, I think you should react to Namjoon's V Lives. I think I should. There's so much content that I want to get to. It's like I feel overwhelmed at times. I'm like, where do I go? Where do I start? What do I do? I'm doing In the Soup right now on my Patreon. I'm almost finished that. I'm probably going to get into a docu-series after that. Probably going to finish with Burn the Stage. I want to watch that. There's so much. And that's a good thing, right? I got to be doing this for a long time. Oh, my mom commented. Shout out to my mom. I'm just impressed that you're viewing these videos for the first. She's just going to leave me the best comments in the world. So good. Your videos for this site, analyzing community while reading the translation and watching them at the same time. Thank you, Mom. Thank you. We'll give that a heart. Yeah, so this was cool, man. I've seen some of these comments. I love your appreciation towards Namjoon, says Rima. Lordell, shout out to you. Chloe Barnes, shout out to you. Lily, Jan, thank you. Liz J, thank you. Sakshi, Joshi, thank you for the comment. Yes, I will check out that video eventually. Thank you for the really nice comment. Guillermina says no one is making fun of Jin. Okay, yeah, that's not his point. He is sincere. And when I say making fun of Guillermina, I don't mean actually making fun of in a way with bad intentions at all. I just mean they're kind of just teasing him. That's all. She said, wow, you're going on to say I'm falling into some tired, damaging stereotypes. Okay, I apologize if that's how you see it. I'm sorry if that's how you see it. I know some people can get quite passionate about some of their favorite members, and that's cool. That's all good. She goes on to say, or he, you don't know Jin at all. Okay. Easy on me. I'm a sensitive guy here. Okay. Valerie says, the septet, if you put together, is like a house on fire. They are so natural and organic. Thank you so much, Mono, for the really nice comment. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you. I should watch some older content, JJ. My pleasure, Hannah. My pleasure, Sunset. Meza. Guys, we're going to end it there. There's so many comments. I appreciate this. This has been a ton of fun to watch. Thankfully, there hasn't been, when I say watch, I mean read. Thankfully, there hasn't been too many negative comments. I get sensitive when I read because sometimes I'm scared to go in the comment section, but nah, it's all good. It's people just speak out of passion a lot of the time, and I can appreciate that. And listen, I'm not getting everything right. I know that, and I really appreciate all the great comments, the context, the compliments, but more than that, just like seeing how into BTS you are is really, really cool, and getting to learn about them from you is really, really cool too. So again, guys, this video, Let's BTS, this is the comment section I'm looking at. Unfortunately, this video got taken down by YouTube. So I have included on my Patreon, if you go to my link below, the free version of the YouTube video on my Patreon. And other than that, I appreciate you tuning in. This is a little different. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you enjoyed this type of video. This was very random, very sporadic, but if you like this type of stuff, let me know. Other than that, I will catch you soon. Peace.